at this time, I'm going to ask you to make arrangements to come turn yourself into the Grand Traverse County Jail. I am going to ask that you turn yourself in by 7 p.m. tonight.
I can't. I'm sorry. I don't even have a license. I can't. I have a job. I got bills.
Followed through. So, Mr. Graff, would you...
This hearing revolves around a probation violation, specifically, failing to report as required. That alone is serious, because probation is essentially the court saying, "We're giving you freedom, don't waste it." When someone skips reporting, the court starts questioning whether supervision is working at all. At first, he seems calm, almost like he believes he can smooth it over. But violation hearings can turn quickly once the judge makes a decision. Let's break down what happened.
I see that you're on my docket, but I don't have any paperwork for you, and it's my understanding that you have a Grand Traverse case.
Yes.
So what I'm going to do is ask the probation department to kindly set this for a probation violation arraignment. I guess.
With my understanding, I had thought my attorney, Jake Graff, I don't know if he's in right now, but he had said that sometimes you do cases for Grand Traverse.
He is here. Let me pull him in. I think that this was potentially an error, but I don't know. I didn't receive notice of.
And I know he struggled to receive notice from the courts about anything in my case, so they weren't being very cooperative for the longest time, even to him.
Good morning, Mr. Graff. Can you hear me?
Good morning. Yes.
So I was just telling Mr. Bunt that I wasn't expecting to see a Grand Traverse case. We could move forward with the, let's see here. Would you like to proceed, Mr. Graff, with the probation violation arraignment this morning?
That would be fine if the court would allow it. I think it sounds like there was some confusion. Mr. Bunt received a notice for 11 o'clock today. And so we're ready to be arraigned and set this for a hearing at a later date if the court would be obliged.
Okay. Yes. Let's see. And Mr. Graff, so let me go ahead and call the case. It's case 21-5281 FY1. And we have Jacob Bunt present via Zoom with his attorney, Mr. Graff. We're here for a probation violation arraignment. And Mr. Graff, how would your client like to proceed with this?
Good morning, Your Honor. He'd enter a not guilty plea, ask the court to set this for a hearing at a later date, and then we'd also like to, address bond.
Okay, very good. All right. So I will ask the probation department to schedule the hearing with Judge Cooney. It looks like there is an active bench warrant currently. And Mr. Graff, what would you like to say about bond?
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, obviously, late, after hours yesterday, we finally received the probation violation information on this case. And so we've had very little time to obviously prepare, not knowing specifically what all the allegations were. If the court would look at the notice, it talks about a positive PBT on April 22nd, which I don't think is applicable to Mr. Bunt. And so obviously going into today, until we received that information last night, we were going in somewhat blind. We do have that information. We do have information we'd like to present on his behalf. I guess the one thing is he retained my services. I reached out to try to take care of the warrant. Somehow this got set for hearing as opposed to having him turn himself in. So he has taken a proactive approach and trying to get things under control and get things resolved here. I know that the recommendations asked for him to be remanded pending the hearing. But given that the fact that one, he's taken the initiative to get this ball rolling. Two, as far as I know, there are no new criminal charges. Three, he's appearing today knowing what these recommendations are and that the court could place him in jail pending a hearing. But also more importantly, there's a lot of information that we have to present at the time of his hearing regarding what he's accomplished over the last couple of years. I think there may be more information Mr. Bunt would want to get to me now that we know specifically what the allegations are, so that we can present a full defense when that time comes. As far as I know, as the court will see from the notice, he resides in Lapeer. He's got a job he just enrolled in college. And there are a number of other things that obviously we'd be presenting on his behalf about the services that he has participated and completed. Lastly, I was informed this morning that Mr. Bunt has paid off all his fines and costs. And so this has not been, I guess, a complete failure, as may be alleged on the information that's been presented to the court. I understand today is not the day for the hearing, but I certainly want the court to have a little bit better idea of how Mr. Bunt presents as in regards to obviously the information they may have had coming into this. And so for those reasons, Your Honor, I would ask the court to consider allowing him to remain out on bond. Obviously, he'll know that he'll have to travel to Traverse City for that hearing and appear in person for it. And it could result in more troubles for him if he doesn't. But I think the fact that he's taken the initiative to get this moving is a step in the right direction and speaks to obviously how much he wants to resolve this and will do so.
His attorney actually presents a structured defense, focusing on mitigating factors and attempting to frame the violation in context. But probation violations aren't judged on storytelling alone, they're judged on compliance. Failing a preliminary breath test, PBT, while on probation, for example, can trigger immediate consequences depending on the original conditions. Courts view that as breaking trust, not just breaking a rule. When you're on probation, every misstep carries extra weight because you're already operating under supervision. The judge's job at that point is to assess risk and determine whether community release is still appropriate.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Graff. All right. So let me just verify your mailing address, Mr. Bunt.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. And we will have the probation department schedule this for an in-person hearing that will take place at the courthouse in Grand Traverse County. This is an unusual case. This is a pretty serious, the underlying charges with this, and I'm not unsympathetic for what Mr. Graff is saying. It sounds like you've been actively working on sobriety and improving yourself, but I don't have any verification of any of that having taken place. I don't think it would have been outside the realm of your recovery to contact probation. You did.
I know.
Hold on just a minute. Mr. Bunt, it's not your turn to talk. Hold on, please. You've been just kind of hanging out there. No one has had any idea of what you're doing, what you have been doing, the things you've accomplished. And I guess I'm not understanding why you didn't simply reach out. Well, we have tools and resources here. You had every opportunity for, it looks like, a couple of years to just try to reach out and catch up before it came to this crossroads here. So with that being said, let's see. At some point, did you say you were going to turn yourself in?
Yes, I was going to be turning myself in after my graduation. One of the things on probation was to get my GED, and I did accomplish that. Jake Graff has a photocopy of my diploma. I will be walking and getting a cap and gown. I'm already enrolled in the MOT. I went through some mental health issues and am still actively getting help from CMH. I have a signed waiver of release information for the courts. I've been working. I know there is no proof of me showing my recovery, and I know it probably doesn't look good on you guys, but I did improve myself, and I take full responsibility for my wrongdoings in the past. And I don't want to just have my freedom like you get when you get out of jail. I don't just want freedom. I want to be successful. I want to do the things everyone tells you should do and you can do. And I want to I'm going into college to get associates in business. I want to be an entrepreneur and follow in my father's footsteps.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Bunt. And
Then comes the personal statement, the moment where defendants try to show growth. And to be fair, some people genuinely do hit a turning point. Judges are allowed to consider signs of rehabilitation, effort toward sobriety, counseling attendance, employment, all of that matters. The challenge is timing. When change appears only after a violation is filed, courts naturally question whether it's long-term reform or short-term survival instinct. There's no strict formula for measuring sincerity. Judges rely on patterns, documentation, and credibility.
And I don't want you to look at this as a setback in your recovery. I want you to look at this as moving forward and getting closure with this, okay? And that's just going to help you and build a strong foundation for continuing to move forward down there in Lapeer. So at this time, I'm going to ask you to make arrangements to come turn yourself into the Grand Traverse County Jail. The probation department will set this for a hearing. I would ask them to set it for the fastest, soonest possible date so that we can get this thing expedited.
The officer wants me to sit a year. I'm not going to go to college. I get out of jail when I'm 26. It takes me 4 years to get a degree. By the time I have money, I'm going to be old as
Mr.
fuck.
Bunt, please stop. I want you to continue moving forward. I can't look at the facts of the past and just allow this to continue on this way. So I am going to ask that you turn yourself in by 7 p.m. tonight.
I don't even have a license. I can't get up there that fast. I have a job. I got bills. I got to drop out of college. No, I won't be able to get my walk. I will everything I worked hard
Mr.
for. I
Bunt,
won't be able to do.
I'm going to have to mute you. I've muted you. I want you to know that this is a first step in getting closure for this case. And you had every opportunity to make a step forward. And I appreciate that you did contact the court, but you haven't followed through. So, Mr. Graff, would you want a brief breakout room with your client?
Sure, that'd be fine. I don't want to hold up the court's time. I can call them after court as well.
Okay. I'm not sure if it would be easier for you to try to talk to him right now, or if you'd just rather end this for now and give him a call.
I'll give him a call here, and I don't want to use up the court's time. Mr. Bond, just so you know, you didn't get a year in jail today. You're being remanded pending your hearing, which will come up pretty soon. I understand you're disappointed, but you're not getting the year as they recommended as of right now, okay? But I'll give you a call.
Thank you, Mr. Graff.
Thank you.
The emotional reaction at the end becomes its own factor. Courtroom outbursts rarely help, especially during violation hearings. Even if someone is overwhelmed, the court interprets behavior as another indicator of stability. And stability is the core question in probation cases. The bigger issue here isn't just one missed report, it's whether the court believes supervision can still work. So what do you think? Was the judge fair in responding to the violation and the reaction, or should there have been more leniency? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoy courtroom breakdowns that explain how probation decisions really get made, make sure to like and subscribe for more.